The small town of Babylon, New York, wore the early autumn morning like a cozy mantle. Against a backdrop of fading starlight, a soft glow diffused from the quaint cottages, seeping into the verdant shroud of trees, casting long, meandering shadows that danced on the dew-kissed cobblestone streets. At the heart of the bucolic tableau, inside a diminutive office that bore the mark of time with stoic grace, sat Daniel Hart. His eyes, mirthful yet edged with a hard-won wisdom, scanned over a collection of aged photographs, his fingers tracing the edges with an almost reverential gentleness. "Do you ever wonder why we end up where we do, Mildred?" he asked, his voice a velvety murmur, carrying through the silent office space. Across from him, Mildred, a widow in her early 60s with sparkling eyes and graying hair, looked up from her knitting. "The Lord has a plan for us all, Daniel," she responded, a serene smile painting her wrinkled visage. Daniel's laughter filled the room, rich and warm like the glow of an antique oil lamp. "No, I mean, why here in this town?" His gaze had drifted, lost somewhere in the labyrinth of memories. Mildred, chuckling, responded with a knowing glance. "Why, you've always had a knack for finding trouble, even when you were just a sprout lost in the city. I reckon you're here because Babylon's got a heap of it." A playful smile tugged at the corner of Daniel's mouth. His past, although marred with inexplicable moments of fear and disorientation, had indeed led him here, to a purpose, a town that needed him, a community that held him close. A sudden rap at the door brought their conversation to a halt. A burly figure shuffled in, his face pallid, eyes wide with fear. He was the town's gravedigger, Joseph, a man more familiar with the dead than the living. "Mr. Hart, sir," he began, his voice barely a whisper. "It's happened again. The graves, they've been disturbed." A heavy silence descended upon the room as Daniel took in the news, his mind already whirring with questions. The growing concern in Babylon, the whispers of unrest amongst the townfolk, all connected to a chilling pattern of grave robberies. And at the heart of it all, an abandoned warehouse, an edifice of dereliction, bore silent witness. "Any leads, Joseph?" Daniel asked, his voice steady despite the unnerving news. Joseph's gaze flickered, his lips trembling as he uttered a single word: "Warehouse." A cold gust of wind blew in from the window, causing the curtains to flutter. Daniel felt a familiar pang of adrenaline, the thrill of the unknown beckoning him once more. Little did he know, the path ahead led not just to a solution, but also into the abyss of cosmic horror, promising to unravel not only the mystery of the grave robberies, but also the veiled intricacies of his own existence. As the chapter concluded, he stood, his silhouette against the early morning light, a beacon of hope in the impending darkness. A sense of grim determination had set in. He was ready to delve into the mystery, to traverse the underbelly of the town, to face the whisperings in the dark. After all, this was his purpose, the existential quest he had been searching for. The path was laid out before him, leading him into the heart of Babylon and beyond. Under a cobalt sky festooned with stars, the town of Babylon bathed in an eerie quietude. The skeletal warehouse, silhouetted against the moonlit tapestry, stretched out like a forgotten monolith of yesteryears, a testament to the town's industrious past and current uncertainty. In the heart of this unsettling tranquility, Daniel Hart stood, the moon casting an ethereal glow on his determined visage. The cobblestones beneath his feet bore the chill of the night, and the usual chorus of cicadas was drowned by the whispering wind that carried tales of desecrated graves. A knock on the wooden door of the local tavern broke his introspection. The owner, a rotund man with rosy cheeks and a jovial spirit, hastily ushered him inside. "Ah, Daniel, late-night wanderings again," bellowed the owner, Franklin, his voice echoing in the dimly lit tavern. Daniel offered a tight-lipped smile, replying with a nod. "I'm on the trail, Franklin. The warehouse. Have you heard any rumblings?" Franklin's usual mirthful eyes clouded with unease. "Rumblings, yes. The old place ain't what it used to be, Daniel. It's a tomb now, not for the dead, but for secrets." Their conversation weaved in and out of cryptic exchanges and cautious admissions, each word a breadcrumb leading him deeper into the enigma. The trail, though shrouded in ambiguity, was taking shape. Franklin offered him a lead, a cryptic symbol seen around the warehouse, a potential key to unlock the heart of the mystery. As the midnight bell tolled, he found himself standing before the towering warehouse, a behemoth in the blanket of the night. Armed with only a flashlight and an unwavering resolve, he ventured inside, his footsteps echoing through the cavernous space. His flashlight's beam danced across the grimy walls, illuminating forgotten relics of a bygone era until it finally rested on a symbol, etched into the dust-caked wall, a symbol identical to Franklin's description. An icy chill ran down his spine as he traced the symbol with his fingers. It was the mark of something unseen, something lurking in the realm of cosmic terror. It held the promise of an impending revelation that would shake the foundation of his understanding. Leaving the warehouse, he walked under the celestial dome, a sky now blotted with ominous clouds. His pulse thrummed in his veins, the adrenaline fueled by a burgeoning unease. His journey had turned a corner, drawing him closer to the malignant heart of the grave robberies. His task was clear, his path laden with foreboding shadows, leading him further into the labyrinth of cosmic horror that now lay over Babylon. The vestiges of dawn painted the horizon of Babylon, hues of lavender and saffron tinging the soft bellies of the clouds. The town was stirring, its serenity blemished by the palpable tension that clung to the air. In the thick of this disquiet, Daniel found himself drawn further into the web of uncertainty spun around the derelict warehouse. Mildred's knitting needles paused their rhythmic clatter as Daniel stepped into the office, the symbol from the warehouse now sketched in his notepad, occupying his thoughts. "The deeper I look, Mildred," he confessed, "the less the world makes sense." In Mildred's eyes, a spark of concern flickered. "Sometimes, Daniel, the things we seek have a way of seeking us too." Her words echoed in his mind as he found his way to the town library, a sanctuary of wisdom cocooned within Babylon's rustic charm. Behind the librarian's desk sat Clara, her silver hair neatly pinned, eyes shielded by round spectacles. "Ah, Daniel," she greeted, her voice raspy with age. "Chasing shadows again?" "I fear these shadows chase me, Clara," he replied, showing her the cryptic symbol. Her hand trembled slightly as she traced the symbol, a shudder passing through her as she recognized it. She took him to the forbidden section of the library, filled with antiquated books, the air heavy with the scent of decaying paper and age-old secrets. "It's an old cult symbol," she revealed, her voice barely audible. "It's a sign of the seekers of cosmic truths." The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place in his mind. The grave robberies were not random acts of desecration, but part of a malign ritual conducted by the cult, with an agenda rooted in the unknown, the cosmic. But why Babylon? And why was Daniel himself of interest? Upon revisiting the warehouse with this newfound knowledge, he discovered a hidden cellar, a veritable trove of occult paraphernalia. It was here he found his answer, an ancient text, its pages whispering tales of otherworldly entities sought by the cult. Amidst the cryptic verses, Daniel's name stood out, his destiny seemingly intertwined with the cult's sinister design. The realization hit him with the force of a tidal wave. The echo of his childhood trauma returned, a labyrinth of fear, a pursuit that chilled his soul. But amidst the chaos, his purpose ignited with renewed vigor. It was not merely the graves or the town's peace he was fighting for, but his own existence, his own understanding of reality. As he left the warehouse, the sun had given way to a gloomy dusk. The sky stained a deep, foreboding indigo. He walked through the thickening silence of the town, a lone figure against the encroaching darkness, bearing the weight of cosmic horror. The path led not just to the final confrontation with the cult, but also towards the unimaginable depths of his own consciousness. He was in the heart of madness, and the only way out was through. Babylon, under the moon's silver sheen, wore a mantle of haunting beauty, its peace shattered by an undercurrent of terror that reached its climax in the darkness of the night. At the epicenter, the warehouse stood, a grotesque silhouette against the night sky, the harbinger of an impending storm. Daniel stood at the precipice of the unknown, armed with knowledge and steeled by his newfound purpose. He felt the pulse of the town beneath his feet, its heartbeat aligning with his own. The whisperings of the dark, the shadows over Babylon, the heart of madness, all led to this moment. Within the heart of the warehouse, in the clandestine cellar the cult had gathered, hooded figures hovered around a makeshift altar, their chants echoing ominously through the dank expanse. At the center, their leader held aloft an ancient relic, a key to awaken their sought entity, the cosmic horror that sought Daniel. He watched from the shadows, his heart pounding a furious rhythm in his chest. There, in the heart of darkness, amidst the chants and unearthly murmurings, he found his voice. It echoed through the cellar, a beacon of light against the pitch-black canvas of cosmic horror. "Enough!" His voice thundered through the cellar, each syllable a defiant blow against the encroaching darkness. The cultists froze, their chant dying on their lips. The leader, his eyes filled with madness and fascination, recognized him. "The chosen one," he hissed. "You do not understand your purpose. You belong with us in the embrace of cosmic truth." Daniel's gaze hardened, his voice steady. "My purpose is my own, not etched by ancient cults or cosmic entities, but by myself, my actions, my choices." The leader moved swiftly, incantations falling from his lips like poison. The cellar shook with unearthly energy, the relic glowing ominously. But Daniel stood his ground. His resolve, his purpose, shone like a lighthouse against the cosmic tempest, a single constant in a sea of chaos. Then, with a roar that shook the very foundation of the warehouse, he launched himself at the cult leader. The relic fell, its glow extinguishing upon contact with the cold stone floor. The entity, a mere breath away from awakening, retreated into the abyss, the cosmic threads unraveled. The cultists, their plans thwarted, dispersed into the shadows, leaving Daniel alone in the cellar. His breath came in heavy gasps, his heart pounding with the thrill of victory and relief. As dawn began to tint the sky, Babylon started to stir from its troubled sleep. The warehouse, a symbol of the town's fear, stood eerily silent, its secrets laid bare. Daniel Hart emerged from its bowels, not a weary detective, but a town's guardian, a man who had stared into the abyss and found his purpose. In the light of the new day, he returned to his office, the veil of cosmic horror slowly lifting. He had prevailed, not by succumbing to his destined role in the cult's plan, but by asserting his own will and purpose. A sense of peace washed over him, a balm for his trauma-laden past and the recent horrors. After all, he was a light in the abyss, a beacon of hope in the heart of Babylon. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to our channel, where you can find more similar stories, and click on the bell icon to never miss one. There is plenty more cosmic horror to come from the Eldritch Tales Factory. Stay tuned, and until next time.